Obama family flees as Secret Service agent just blows Obamagate wide open. They're going to be there's going to be hell to pay by Sassy Liberty for freedomdaily.com. Obamagate is the Watergate of our generation, except far worse. Here is a bit of a refresher for those with that either have short memories, those too young to remember, or those that are afraid of accurate history books. Watergate is termed as one of the biggest scandals in modern political history. Republican President Richard Nixon desperately wanted to know what Democrats were planning for their 1972 presidential campaign against him. He ordered a team of trusted aides to spy on them, where they literally broke into the offices of the Democratic National Committee inside the Watergate building, thus leading to Nixon's downfall. Yet it seems there is no longer any need for breaking and entering any longer. All you have to do is use the high-tech electronic power of Big Brother government, where a corrupt president intent on wiping out the opposition is willing to listen in on anyone at any time, and the Fourth Amendment is little more than words on paper. When President Donald Trump tweeted back in March of 2017 that Barack Obama spied on him, it became a joke of sorts, with CNN tweeting about Trump's baseless wiretap claim, and Trump just flat out lied about wiretapping. Except it was not a joke, and President Trump was right. Apparently, President Trump's biggest crime is winning a fixed election against all odds against globalist criminal Hillary Clinton. Now President Trump is in charge of the Department of Justice, and he can investigate and prosecute as he sees fit based on where the evidence takes him. This is Obamagate. It makes Watergate look like child's play. The real question is, what did Obama himself know, and when did he know it? Former Secret Service agent and host of the Dan Bongino show, Dan Bongino suggests that not only did Obama know, he was an active participant. He makes the case that the entire Trump-Russia collusion narrative was a setup from the beginning, dubbing the Obama surveillance abuse of the Trump team and Americans as a whole is the most consequential political scandal in the history of the United States. Bongino states you can see the left-wing media's own stories about all of this, the spying, the setup, the framing of Donald Trump. The left wing reported on it because they thought it was real, because they're suckers for the Democrats. Folks, this was a setup. It was a sting operation and an entrapment operation the entire time. An IPD-TIPP poll shows that Americans overwhelmingly believe the Obama administration improperly surveilled Donald Trump's presidential campaign. This is all despite the concerted propaganda and media disinformation effort being put forth by the American mainstream media's best and most cynical efforts to bury the truth or even stop the truth from ever seeing the light of day. This poll shows how many Americans are simply tuning out and refusing to listen to the hysterical rantings of the MSM. Many are looking to alternative media sources for the truth as to what is happening. It makes sense as to why platforms such as the uber left-wing Facebook and Twitter are so desperately trying to shut down anything but the official points of view. The poll, without a doubt, shows that a majority of the public believes the exact opposite of what an unceasing, coordinated media campaign wants them to believe. America simply is not buying the complete work of fiction that President Trump colluded with the Russians to win the 2016 campaign, and that the heroic FBI is being unfairly smeared by Trump's evil defenders despite their relentless propaganda attempting to convince them otherwise. A clear majority of 55% of Americans believe it is likely that the Obama administration improperly surveilled the Trump campaign during the 2016 election. That includes 31% of Democrats, 87% of Republicans, and 55% of independents. It seems even those among Obama's own party do not buy his story. 54% of Americans want a special counsel to investigate whether the FBI and the Department of Justice improperly surveilled the Trump campaign during the 2016 presidential election. Along party lines, 74% of Republicans and 50% of independents want a special counsel, as do a full 44% of Democrats. A Rasmussen poll from this week shows that a mere 42% of Americans believe Russia meddled in the 2016 presidential election more than the FBI, and a full 34% believe the FBI actually meddled more than the Russians. That means we now currently live in a country where more than half, 58% of Americans, believe own FBI meddled in a presidential election more than a hostile foreign government. Meanwhile, President Trump's approval rating is running ahead of the former President Obama's at this point in his failed presidency. Bongino has been leading the charge in exposing the Obamagate scandal on his chart-topping podcast called it the biggest political scandal in U.S. history. All of this means that while government agents were supposedly listening for so-called, quote, criminal activity, they just happened to come across every single detail and plan of the Trump campaign. They just happened to know the entire content of Trump's speeches before they happened, no less. They just happened to know his line of attack on Hillary Clinton. They knew what Trump was planning before he did. Did they consult their magic 8-ball? Perhaps perform a tarot reading? Use their phone, a friend option? No, they illegally obtained valuable insider information on a much greater scale than Nixon ever did. Obama thought he committed the perfect crime. With a rigged election for Hillary, she couldn't lose after her easy victory. Hillary would be in control of the Department of Justice, so who would ever investigate or prosecute? Except Obama did not count on the American people, and now his chickens are coming home to roost. Yeah. Well, I suggest he does clear out, because he's going to be headed to Gitmo if he doesn't run. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much for watching.